Well, hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Glenn Paxson, owner of King Smoke Rings, and we're here to just have a sit-down session with some of the, I guess, up-and-coming all-stars, whatever how they want to categorize themselves in the culinary industry. To my left, we've got Chef Chris. To my right here, we've got Teresa Parker, and then to my far right, we've got Chef Jay High. So we're gonna get this thing going. I guess I'll just throw it out there, and whoever wants to jump in, in you guys' personal opinion, what would you say one of the key elements of your culinary inspiration was?
I'll go first. Mine is diversity in culture. I got started the idea of becoming a chef for my time in the military. Traveling all the world, seeing different cultures, how people eat their food. And I realized that I love that you could see somebody's culture through what they put on their plate. And I loved that. And that's what gave me the spark of wanting to get into the industry itself. And I've put myself into uncomfortable situations where I try new cuisines and new techniques based off of their cultures to broaden myself as a chef. Like, I've worked in traditional Thai restaurants, never eaten Thai food before. Now it's one of my favorite like flavor profiles. So that to me is what got me into it and wanting to do this.
Cool.
For me, it was I would go out to eat, and I tell this story all the time. When you eat and how I cook is the same, right? So when I cook, I want it to be how I would eat it. And when I would go to restaurants, flavor for me, I like it to follow all the way through. Like, I don't want to take a bite in the middle and it didn't taste like it did when I first bit it, or it doesn't taste like it did the last bite. And so that's what really inspired me to start cooking, is because I wanted to get that experience of flavor falling all the way through. And just growing up, going to certain restaurants, like even steak places, it would just be like a little salt and pepper here, and it's like meaty in the middle. It's not following, but there's butter over this side, but there's no butter on this side. It's like I just wanted to follow consistency of flavor. And so that's what really inspired me to start cooking and catering.
That's what's up.
So what inspired me to get started was I decided to go on the vegan journey because I didn't want to be a seasoned pill popper. Everybody has that auntie, grandmother that's, you come over to the house, there's prescription pills all over the table, there's prescription pills falling out the medicine cabinet, and then guess what? There's more pills somewhere else, and then you're the one that comes by at the time, and they're like, could you help me sort these pills? No, I don't want a pill box full of Skittles. So looked around and found out there wasn't a lot of whole food, fruits and veggie-based vegan food. A lot of it's fried, dyed, laid to the side. A lot of it's chemical-based. So the vegan palate makes fruits and veggies dance on your palate. So I agree with you with the seasoning to make sure that the food is seasoned. And most people complain about not being able to let go of meat. But I don't know many people that eat meat with no seasoning on it. So they'll be like, oh, you're trying to make it taste like this, or you're trying to, no, I'm seasoning the food. So just to make sure that people can appreciate fruits and vegetables and have that healthy part of their diet.
Yeah, what you're talking about there is kind of what my program's about. Is I'm a meat eater. I eat burgers, steaks, everything, but I understand and I teach to our population about moderation. Like, yes, you can go out there and enjoy that steak, but don't get the giant 16-ounce ribeye. Get the 3 to 4 ounce, portion. Load up your plate with fruits and veggies on there. That's the key to it. And I fully agree with you. People need to be eating more fruits and vegetables. Making them healthy choices, because I don't want to be popping pills when I'm in my later stages either. So need to be healty about it.
One of the tying into that, one of the crazy things is that I get it all the time, and it's like, hey, you're little, you could eat what you want. I always say, I still got insides. Whether I'm 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 150 pounds, my insides are the same.
Right.
We're all created the same in inside. So if I go eat the crazy diet all the time, I'm going to be the same way as a 300-pounder that did it their whole life too.
Right.
It doesn't matter. And tied into what you said about the seasonings, one of the biggest things is that I remember one of the dishes that people love is macaroni and cheese. And I remember when I first started making macaroni and cheese years ago, I was like, I didn't know that you were supposed to season the cheese sauce.
Right.
I thought you just get the cheese, get the noodles, man, you bring it together. Hey, we got a masterpiece.
Right.
And so the funny story is I had catered an event for my mom's job, and they brought food, and my macaroni ran off the plate, and they was like, "Where's that seasoned macaroni?" And I started laughing because I knew that I was that person that was making the macaroni that other people bought that wasn't seasoned when I started. So I was like, okay. Now I know that nothing that you make is supposed to be just made from scratch. It's supposed to have some type of additives, some add-ons to enhance it. For me, the journey of culinary and getting into cooking was when I was younger. My mom was a single mom, and my sister darn near burnt the kitchen down one time. I mean, literally, it was on fire. And so mom was like, "Carol, you cannot cook in the kitchen anymore. Your brother's responsible for all the cooking." So that's where I kind of got the honing into it, the loving of it. And my grandmother, when she was living, she could take anything from anywhere and make it good. She was the queen of freezer. So she would freeze food. She could take it out the freezer and doctor it up, and you would never know that it's been in the freezer and been defrosted after she cooked it. You thought it was just made that day. So then, fast forward, barbecue love came from when I moved to East Texas for 10 years, and that's how I got into the barbecue thing. And so, got into telecom, did sales for 13 years, and I was like tired of it, wanted to try something new, and so that's how Kings was born. And went through the journey, screwed up. Look, I got pictures of when the meat was looking like it was charcoal.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the beauty of the whole thing is when you see someone enjoy your food, and I really get a laugh at it when I see someone that was getting the food from me when I first started, and after doing this all the time, every day, multiple times a week, to see that now the journey has come to a place where I'm confident, and I think all of us can probably say when you get to that point to where a person can hand you almost anything and you feel okay and confident or comfortable to at least try it. When I first started, it was a lot of stuff I wouldn't try. I was like, I'm gonna screw it up. Now at this point, it's like I'm willing to try anything, and I don't feel like I'm gonna screw it up to where it'd be gross. Yeah, and so now we're going to go into kind of like, I like the way to find out, how do you guys, we already talked about how you guys were influenced to get into your culinary and your cuisine techniques. But if y'all had to give me one technique that you just like, when you do it, it just brings this like joy on your face, what would that be?
Mine would be to get people out of their comfort zone and try new flavors. Like I said, that's what I do with my culinary journey, is being uncomfortable and trying new things. And I want to bring that to other people. Like Houston is so diverse, one of the most diverse cities in the US. And you have all these different flavors and communities and cultures. Like try something new. Like here, let's take this basic dish and incorporate in some, Southeast Asian flavors into it, or some Central American flavors into it. Try something new and get them uncomfortable in that feeling of trying it, and then seeing the look on their face after they eat it, and they're like, "Oh man, this is good. Like,
this is unique."
Yeah, that's what I love to do.
For me, I think my biggest thing is I like to take the aspect of barbecuing or smoking and take it to where I can take a traditional dish, like we'll say mac and cheese. I started that early, and take that and enhance it with the smoke flavor, and find the right mixture to where you take a hint of the smoke, but you still got the traditional mac and cheese with it, and that's fun for me. Taking something that doesn't even really look like a barbecue item, but taking that and bringing that to where, so like when I put that on a menu, it's like, okay, this is a smoked mac and cheese. It's different.
We've done something like that at one of the restaurants I worked at, is like incorporating things like smoke into a flavor, but not saying, all right, we just smoked this, but how you incorporate it. One of the things we did was the drippings from when we would make our brisket, we'd collect all that and make a demi sauce out of it. And that's what would go over our steak. So you get that hint of smoke, but it's not like overpowering, but it's just that little flavor enhancer. And you're like, oh man, this is like next level. This is good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So one of the things that I've done is I have a farmers market experience where I get a client to meet me at the farmers market and teach them how to shop the market. It includes a box of fruits and veggies. Then we go and spice shop according to their palate. And after we do that, we prepare 4 to 5 dishes just out of that box. So most times I know what's going to be in the box. Sometimes I don't. So just to be like, hey, let's get creative according to what you like. So clients really enjoy that. They enjoy having the hands-on experience because I'm guiding them through it. I'm not doing the cooking. They are. I'm giving them the instructions. And it sticks with them. So they not only have healthy choices if they decide to order meal prep or catering or something like that, it gives them the opportunity to be able to bring those flavors into their home and work with it themselves.
That's cool. That is real cool.
Yeah. So when it comes to technique, for me, it's been trial and error. So it's just trial and error. The technique comes from just learning trial and error along the way. So, and it kind of goes back to reflection of influence. My second part of my influence was my mom growing up. I also grew up with a single mom who sometimes worked 2 jobs, or, we had spaghetti for 4 days out of the week and, burgers the other 3 days. And then next week, it was whatever mom made. And so as I got older, I started cooking. And it was trial and error with mom. Like, mom would be like, "Nah, son, this is too salty. Like, try again." And so once I got to the point where I could please my mom, or my mom would say, "Okay, son, this is good," I write that one down. Let's go on to the next one. Trial and error. We start from 0. It's too salty. Okay. It's getting better. Write that one down. So that's all it's been for me. And that's kind of how I named my company More Than Enough, because it was getting more than enough flavor and more than enough food.
That's what's up. Yeah. It's like, hey, I think we've all had to go through that trial and error journey in some way, form, or fashion to
Right.
figure out that thing that just works. I think one of the recipes I'm on recipe number 5, and I finally found the one that, like, when people eat it, it's like, oh, okay, this is a hit. But it was 1, 2, 3, 4 before he got there,
And that's honestly, that's one of my favorite things about working in the kitchen is that R&D, the trial and error of
Right.
things. Like, trying these different techniques or like flavor palettes, see what like comes together, and then seeing the stages of it. And at the end, you got this perfect dish for it.
Right.
This is like what you're looking for. And just seeing that journey is so enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember the first time I did a pop-up, and I was like, yeah, I'm finna bring out all the healthy stuff and da-da. So I did spaghetti squash, and I couldn't step back out of it because I had already sent the menu. But spaghetti squash is hard as hell to chop up continuously enough for a catered event. I was like, this will never, ever be back on the menu again.
Yeah. I've done the same thing, in my young journeys when I first started, and it is brutal sometimes. Like, you're just praying that event gets over, and just like, I'm never doing this again.
It's like certain things, it's like, this is only for a paid event. This is not,
it was paid. But it was
Like,
pop-up, but it was just like...
Yeah,
you're going into it thinking, this is going to be fun, this is going to be
7
easy.
or 8 to 10 spaghetti squash now.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh crap, I made the wrong decision here.
Yeah, I've definitely taken a lot of things off the menu after, having an event, and someone was like, "Hey, I want to try this," and I'm like, "Cool," I made it at home. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain things on my menu, I made it at home for like, the most was like 10 people. Mm-hmm. And I'm growing and I'm getting more events, and somebody called me like for, let's just say 150. And they want this menu, they want this item that I've never made for 150. And I'm like, so what? I'm a chef, I'm gonna knock it out. And I'm like, I get to the event, put it together, and then it's like one of those items you can't really prep outside of the event. It has to like be prepped right then and there.
That's strain. That's stress.
And I say, you know what? We're going to take that one off the menu.
This is one of the things that we teach people in our school, is the vast difference between being like a home chef or like cooking at home versus cooking for 50, 100, 300 people. Like, it is vastly different.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have 2 different menus, honestly. I have the general public menu where if you want to order a plate, you can order that. Okay. And then I have catered menus. And I've had people ask, like, well, why is this not on the catering menu?
No.
When you have to bulk up something, you're looking at efficiency, and
right.
Like I said, I'm not chopping up spaghetti squash for 100 people. Right. Like, that's not happening.
Yeah. So You know, like how food impacts the community, how it impacts change. I think that's a really easy thing. I mean, you think about it, food is a part of every culture. I think food is the one thing that I think it breaks down confrontation. When you talk about how food can bring this side of a person together and this side over here of people together, and then they may have differences, but
Yeah, and in so many cultures, like food is the unifier. Like you have, your events surrounded by food. Maybe it's sitting all at a table or just, sitting on the floor having snacks, something like that. It is a great communicator for your community to bring them together. So it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I think how I met Chef Chris was because of it was based upon food and food coming into the community. They have a program that allows restaurants to be taught how to thrive and how to learn the nuances of a successful business. And if all of us can probably say restaurant industry is brutal. We all know that brick and mortar it's not about your food only. It's not about your presentation only. It's not about who you are as a person only. It's all those things plus your location plus
there's so much to go into it besides just like I can make great food, but if I suck at marketing or I have a bad location, that's going to tank your business. So
this is a restaurant that's no longer in existence I went to, and they had some amazing food. And every time I would go in there, I was like, the restaurant is not packed. It's never packed. I don't know how they're going to make it. And they had their prices set, like not a 5-star restaurant, but a pretty decent restaurant, kind of restaurant where if we went in there, one guest, you're probably paying $35 to $45 a person. That's where they got their food set up. And I was like, boy, how are they going to survive? Because you got this here, your food is good, but it's like, I think it's a little higher than what people gonna really be willing to pay. And sure enough, they're not there anymore. And that's just prime example of how,
knowing your clientele.
Yeah.
Like who are you shooting for,
Yeah. So seeing how food brings people together in the community, seeing how, the story of food changes things. Personally for me, it's funny, my story of how food has changed me and my family is the fact that, I was stressed out doing sales. And I'm stressed out doing this, but it's my stress. You know what I'm saying? It's a different level of stress that comes along with this that I love it. The other day I was having a conversation with my wife and I said, I really appreciate how you let me go after this, because we took a little pay cut for me to go do this compared to what I was making in the sales industry. And she's like, well, I see you up till 3 o'clock in the morning prepping something. I see you up till 4 o'clock in the morning. There's been times when she went to sleep and she get up the next morning, I'm still up. She said, how could I not support that? She said, I saw what you did for when you was in sales. And I see you doing that same thing when I got in sales. And when it took me about 2 years to get into sales, and I'm kind of at a little bit over the 2-year mark in my business now. And I'm telling you, like, this year alone, I probably had more success in this first couple months than I probably had 75% of last year, if not a little more than that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I feel that. I was working a corporate job, and I paid really well, but deeply unhappy with it. And, I took a massive pay cut to work in kitchens, but I loved every minute of it. Like, I thrive in the kitchen. That's where I like the chaos. I like, the hustle and bustle of it. Like, that's what I love. And I'm so much happier now.
What, I guess, my thing would be is, for you guys, what is one of those experiences in your catering business or your journey that you just kind of like look back on it and it's like, wow.
I would say for me, having like chefs that weren't assholes. They are in their own sense, but like they understood that, this is a journey for the line cooks too, and they will take you under their wing and help you to be a better cook, better chef. And that was just a wow moment for me, because like even in school, my first restaurants I worked at, I've been lucky enough to have great chefs that I've worked with that they've helped me and grow, in my journey and make this truly something I love to do. So, and I'd give back with what I do now because of that. Like I want to help other chefs grow and be better, and like show like these are things that I've learned along the way that I want to help, you guys grow your businesses and be better chefs, because it just makes the whole industry better.
So the exposure that I've gotten over the last couple of years, from the podcast, the magazine articles, to being the first vegan vendor to be at Wild West Brewfest last year, being on the news, different conferences and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that I look back and just is in awe and wow, because a lot of people that's been in the industry a lot longer than me did not have those opportunities.
I guess my wow factor is when I originally started doing this, I never even thought about being a traveling chef. But this has opened up doors for me to travel. I'm not only here at home, but I've traveled over the last 2 years. I've been to California at least 4 to 5 times a year within those 2 years. Traveled to Wisconsin and all types of other places I didn't think I would go to just to cook, So that's my wow factor when I sit back and just think that, someday somebody's going to be calling again. Hey, can you come and we'll book your flight, and how much does it cost? And I remember the first time trying to figure all that out, like, because I had no idea. Like, I just knew, hey, I know you got to pay for it, but, I had no idea how to budget it, how to even talk to them on the phone. But it was a process, and it's just a wow factor that this has allowed me to be able to do that.
That's such a cool experience too.
Yeah.
Looking back, when you started and didn't think you were going to be like traveling. That's
right.
Like, I would love to do that as my job. That's great.
Yeah.
On my list.
You get to that point to where you're like, hey, not only do I get to go and get somebody to enjoy my food and see the expressions they make when I get there, but hey, I get to go take a little trip somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Stay a couple of days.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All good.
Yeah. I guess for me, one of the biggest experiences that kind of like it brought me to a place of just jubilation was when I had the pleasure of doing my first like big catering event, over 100 people. And the thing is that my pastor that taught me that you have to go operate on the principle of giving. And so I got connected with the people through a networking event and brought them some food for a networking event. And so when I brought them food from the network, they raved about it. And so then they ended up getting me, trying to book me for their catering event, 100-something people. And they like, barbecue is expensive, very expensive, and people that know the industry know, because it's time. It's a lot of time that you don't, like, I can go fry you some chicken. That's quick. That's easy. Yeah. But the nature of most good barbecue is it's time consuming. So they didn't order barbecue that year. That year they did a pasta dish. So now that pasta dish is actually on our menu, though. It was funny. So that gave me exposure to another dish that I had never made before, and I made it that time, and it was a hit. So fast forward to the next year, they actually ordered barbecue. And so I got that opportunity, but it would never have come if I wouldn't have gave them the food at the meeting that they had. And it's small bits. It wasn't to feed 100 people at the meeting. It's like 20 people. But I looked at it as coming from sales, it taught me marketing. So that's just a marketing budget. But, instead of going and putting a flyer out there, the flyer is only to get somebody to try the food. So the barbecue and giving them food is a walking, tasting flyer. So that was big to me that that by giving, I actually gained an actual client. And that's the same principle, that reason why we're sitting here today. I had to choose and select you guys and lady. And that's because I believe that, hey, if I'm willing to make sure that somebody else's business is successful, God's obligated to make sure mine is. And so, this is a fun journey for me, but I want to look back on this, I'm not even gonna say a year. I want to look back on this 3 to 6 months, and we reach out to each other and tell each other stories of how, this has led to something else. This has got me this has got me that. And so, that's why we asking each other the visions and stuff like that, because, hey, I want us to take this from here and now, create new friends and relationships where, hey, we look at that and say, hey, we're running this together. Sure, hey, maybe we can come up with a gig where we all can travel and go do something.
And it fosters that sense of community too. Like we're all in this together. Let's help each other out and rise each other up.
Yeah, so true.
But definitely speaking on giving, I was doing an event called Taste the Menu, where and I was working with other chefs, where it wouldn't just be myself. I'd invite other chefs to come out, and we basically just give the food away. Taste the menu, so you get to come out and taste whatever selections from our menu we thought were the most popular or we wanted to see. And we did this for about 2 years, and just being able to give it away and seeing the response of, oh my God, this is good. People asking me at the event, hey, can I pay for a whole plate? Can I get like my wings, my smoked wings? I have famous smoked wings and famous Cajun pasta, right? And just giving those items away and seeing the response, or just seeing what that event has done or opened doors for me in the future it's amazing as well. So yeah, definitely, I call it the Chick-fil-A approach. Give it away, because they were giving away nuggets in the beginning, and that's how they got people hooked. Because they were saying, we're so confident in our nuggets that we just give it away, and then people are gonna come back to buy more. And so I've taken that same approach to just, in the beginning, just give it away. And once people find out exactly how good it tastes, they're gonna come running back.
Yeah, because it takes effort to like go try something new, and pay for it. Like,
Exactly.
You don't want to go in being disappointed. But here's a little sample of what
taste.
we do, and you're like, oh man, I want to find out what else you do now.
Exactly.
Now I want to try more stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, true. And it's so funny because we're talking about, our brand, our identity and things like that. And then, we talking about festivals and, just things like that. And how those things where you can come to the masses and actually get the opportunity to present, I call it our passion. That's what we present. We present our passion to those groups of people. I think everybody would love to say, hey, I've had the opportunity to go into a situation and do my service for, a big group. Like, I know he has done plates and stuff like that, and I still do them too, but that's not the end vision.
Right. And plates aren't bad, man.
Yeah.
I see what I did when I was doing plates was I delivered as well.
Me too.
And so, and what I really called it was was me laying the foundation for my business. Because even when I was delivering plates, people would be like, oh my, you delivered too? And it's the personal touch for me.
Yeah.
It's the personal touch of you knowing that I've been in the kitchen cooking this meal for you, and I brought it to you and delivered it. Mm-hmm. It's the personal touch.
Yeah.
Plus you knowing that it's all love in the food.
Yeah.
So it's a full circle of, hey man, this guy's really a good chef, or he's really doing good things, and his food is really good. So it's all about the personal touch for me. So I love doing plates, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to transition into the restaurant, because a few people have told me, like, when I was doing plates, they were like, hey man, the food, it brings, like, we need to be sitting down, enjoying ourselves at a table with some drinks, a nice ambiance. And so that's what I want to give people, because that's the type of food we're creating, a comfort type food where you're sitting down and you're just enjoying other people.
Mm-hmm. The funny thing is that you said that is because really when people are buying from us, they're really buying an experience.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of chefs that I follow on Instagram, and they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. Right. But if you see the experience that they give their client, dude, it is second to none.
Right.
And so, the food is good, yes, but we pay for the experience.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why people go to 3 Michelin star restaurants.
Yeah.
You're not going just for the food, you're going for the ambiance, the experience,
exactly.
everything about it, people want that, you know?
And you think about it, because we all know that we can go do a catered event for any amount of people. And then we go do a catering for a wedding. The price mark on a wedding is totally different because of the experience. You know, the hope is that that person, those two people are getting married for once and one time only. So they'll never be able to relive this experience again. And the price mark is crazy difference. But it's because of the experience. And people don't really, most of the time, you know, they may fuss a little bit, but in that industry, they're paying for it and they're not questioning it. Because they want that experience.
Right. I believe it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Because weddings are 50-50. You have some that they come with a budget, and some that don't have a budget.
Yeah.
It's hey man, this is what we got to spend, so let's make it work. And then you have some people that are like, nah, this is is what we got.
I want my guests to be wowed.
You know, this is exactly what it is, and I work with both. So it doesn't, you know, but I love that. I love that part of the journey.
Yeah.
Because it's just working with different people, and it's learning how to work with different people.
The people aspect. You know, you got to learn how to please this person here and please this person here. And then as we do this more, you figure out when you kind of interact with them. Okay, I know how to roll this out.
Exactly.
You know, when you first get started, you're like, oh man, I don't know how to get this.
You're kind of scratching your head. You're trying to figure it out. You know? But it's like, you know, after you do it once, you know, you do it twice, you do it 3 times. By the 20th time you did it, it's going to be different from the first time you did it. So.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the clients that are honest about their budget.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'll get some and you'll be like, oh, there is no budget. And then you send your numbers over and they're like, oh, we have a budget.
Right.
That was the first question.
So I've lost clients that way. But I have a so-called script, right? And one of my main things is, before we even get into anything, before I can pretty much even send you the menu, hey, what's your budget? Oh, we don't have a budget, but you'll have people say that, oh, we don't have a budget, but we got about X amount of dollars to spend. Well, you have a budget.
Yeah. You know, a budget. Yeah.
Or you have this, like, for a wedding, right? Oh, we have a budget for the wedding, but we hadn't thought about the food.
Well, what are the 2 most important things at a wedding?
You know,
you and the food.
Yeah, I've had people say, hey, we got X amount of dollars for the wedding, and we got about X amount of dollars left, but we haven't thought about how much is going to be allocated towards the food. And it's like, you know, just for prime example, like, you know, people be like, and then it's the outrageous numbers where people are like, all right, we're having a wedding for 300 people, and our budget is $1,500. And I'm like, and we all know that math. So we like, so this is what I do. I like, okay, give me a second. So I bring out my calculator. You know, hey, that's about X amount of dollars per person.
Yeah.
Let's just say it averaged out to like $7 a person. And they're like, okay.
Pizza rolls.
So can we get what we asked for? And they're like asking for like steak, potatoes. And I'm like, nah, no. I don't even think we can go to McDonald's with this.
Yeah.
Like, they can't go to a fast food restaurant.
The bundle at McDonald's is $8 now. The bundle.
And then it's tax. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, I love that part of the journey. So, yeah.
Yeah, and another, you know, I asked a similar question. I normally ask, hey, what's more important to you? Is the experience more important to you? You know, and then just get a dialogue. You know, and you'll find out some of the things by just asking the questions. You know, and getting them to talk. You know, but yeah, it's hard to kind of even accurately tell them what you're going to sell them, or offer them, or give them if you don't have a price range. Because I know all of us know there's a difference in the price that I submit to you, or the quote that I submit to you, based upon what kind of food you want.
Right,
you know?
right.
Hey, all this stuff costs, you know, and so, you know, but people don't realize it, or they might be trying to play you a little bit. You know, sometimes they are.
Yeah, and people definitely are trying to play you because just like I already know, and it's like I tell people all the time, hey, you know, if you're not confirmed booked, look, I'm talking to everybody else about this date. And the first person, it ain't about the money. It's not, this person can have 300 people, this person can have 50, this other person can have 250. Whoever comes first and books the date, that's who gets the priority order.
That's who gets the party. Yep.
And so I tell people, like, and just like you said, they trying to play you. I tell people all the day, they be like, oh, we don't have a budget. Just send me over a quote. Right? So I send him over a quote. Then you don't hear from him. Mm-hmm. You finally get in contact with him. Hey, what's going on? Just following up on what I sent you. Oh, we decided to go another route. Something cheaper. What you had sent it was too out of our budget. When we originally talked, you say you didn't have a budget. So it's just like you lose people. And it's like, all right, well, if you had a budget, just be honest about it.
Just tell me and let's work together. Let's figure this out.
I don't know what it is with people that do that. It's like if you got a budget, you got a budget. And it's better to have the budget so that when I'm presenting to you, I can even limit my menu. Mm-hmm. Like I may not even have to send you the menu. If I know your budget, I can kind of guide you and say, hey, look, in the past, this is what we did for this.
Yeah. My thing, another thing that I like about, being in this space is the fact that we're the life of the party, I mean, it really is. Like, I'm a party person. I've gotten older now, so I can't party as much. But pre-COVID days, I would have probably like 7, 8 get-togethers at the house a year. And that's kind of like what kind of guided me down to push me into doing this for full time. It's so, for me, I love the aspect of that, other than the venue, the place where the person is going to host something. Mm-hmm. We are pretty much the deciding factor on whether they have a good experience. Mm-hmm. You think about it. You go somewhere and it's bad food. That will look. They're not going to
definitely make or break.
Yeah, what the guests going to be talking about? Girl, this food. You know what I'm saying? So, right. That part of it, I love. Nothing makes my day more than seeing, hey, going to a party or going to a festival, going to anything that where my services are needed. And I call it presented with the opportunity to actually, give my service. That makes my day. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. I think it's like we said, like when you see someone taste that food, that's like we have a joke. That's the best high.
It really is.
There's nothing that like when you see someone like they eat it and they look around like, oh man, and they go for it, or any part of that is just like,
yeah.
I feel that
it's like adrenaline, it's like it gets rushing.
I may not make the prettiest of plates,
right.
But once you take a bite of that and I see your face,
it's
actually
there's no better feeling than
my chef instructor would when I was in school would always dog me on that. He's like, your flavors are so good. You've got an understanding of like how to bring stuff together and everything. He's like, can you please make your food not look like shit? He's like, there's presentation. Can you work on that, please?
Yeah. And I think the another cool aspect of the business is the growth. Mm-hmm. Seeing how we've all told our stories about how we've grown and how the experience of going through those growth, I call it has given us the right to say that we've passed the test. This year alone, when I said, hey, I wanted to get more exposure to my business, literally, if I would have said 3 to 6 months ago, I'd be doing this, I wouldn't have been ready for it. It's like you have to go through those, I call it the trenches, right. And mm-hmm. earn that I call it the right to be successful. One of the things I tell my kids all the time is success is in the dictionary for a reason. Because if everybody was equal, it wouldn't need to be a word to describe it, So that's why there's success and failures, because you can be either one, mm-hmm. And for me, like the thing is, it's like being in business, you see somebody successful, now you realize why sometimes when a person is successful, they get teary-eyed, they get emotional, because they've earned it,
Yeah. I mean, I've been a chef for 10 years now. Like, I've been doing this a while. And I'm at that point in my life where I look back and I'm like, wow, I've really been doing this. And like, I can see my journey from just starting out as, a lowly line cook working garde manger and making salads to, now I do education and teach people how to eat healthy and teach people how to cook. And like, it's kind of mind blowing that I'm at that level where I'm a teacher. Like I'm showcasing this, and it's just mind blowing on my journey for me.
Mm-hmm. I think the success of all of our businesses is about collaboration. You know, this event here is a testimony of collaboration. You know, and my thing is, I love to see when a person is not so caught up in their own success to help somebody else be successful. Because I honestly believe that's what's meant for me. It's meant for me. Your name ain't on it. You know, so if it comes my way or if it goes your way, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not worried about what you're getting. What's for me will come. You know, and one of the most successful collaboration stories for me was I did a brunch, a Mother's Day brunch. And I have a couple mentors, and the mentor had called me and said, "Hey, Glenn, can you do this brunch?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so she hit me up, gave me the contact information. I got the gig, was successful. And so, you know, later on, come to find out, I got connected with a program that was able to help me design my website for free. And so when I thought about, you know, who else could use it, guess what I thought about? The mentor who had gave me the gig. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that, you know, when you operate your business like it's a revolving door and a constant circle of get, give. And I think you're guaranteed to be successful. And you have to remember, too, that just because I give something to Teresa or Chris or Chef Jai doesn't mean that you guys are obligated to give it to me. It just means that it's coming back, you know? So I don't even get mad if I gave something to you guys and you don't give it back to me. That's not the way the principle is set up. The principle is set up that it will come back. But it never says from who, you know? So how about you guys? Yeah, and then like say, hey, navigating through the collaborations I think is key to all of our success. You know, being a person, I said, another thing that I asked for this year was asked to be made an avenue to funnel opportunities to. And it's crazy. I didn't ask for more opportunities. I said, just make me an avenue to funnel. And through that, the opportunities have tripled, you know, because of that. Any success stories on how collaborations and stuff like that impacted you guys' business in a positive way?
Oh, I mean, my business is nothing but collaboration. Like, I can't do what I do without our community partners. People like Urban Harvest, you know, we have a great partnership with them. It started out when I first got here of just going to their annual conference, just setting up a table. This last year, I was on their planning committee. For the next conference, and then we've expanded on that. Like now we have programs where they bring their mobile market out to my clinic and, you know, give the population access to healthy, you know, fruits and vegetables, you know, locally sourced. You know, it's those type of collaborations that I wouldn't be where I am with my organization if it wasn't for stuff like that.
And think about it, saying that, I met you at the Restaurant Resilience Program. And then you connected me with the Culinary program, and then now you're here with me giving this. You know,
that wouldn't have happened if we hadn't started a partnership with Baker Ripley. You know, like I can't. It all goes back to community. You know, not just feeding people, but like giving them the opportunities to get the exposure, getting you know, elevating people and getting them the resources they need. So,
yeah, 100%.
Definitely for me, and like he was saying, his whole background is collaborative. So same for me. There's a place here in the city called the Media Block. We do a lot of collaborative events together. I'm quote unquote the official caterer of the Media Block, right? And so we've done a lot of events that have been successful for the both of us. A lot of networking for me. I've met countless amounts of people that I would never think I would have met just through the Media Block and doing the event and just doing the food, you know. So yeah, everything for me, just about 75% of what I've been able to do has been a collaborative effort of some part.
And the crazy thing is, let me ask you guys this. Because of those collaborative efforts, do you guys feel like because of those opportunities that you have a different aspect or a different mentality of what you expect from them monetarily because it's a collaborative effort?
No.
Yeah, I mean, because and what I meant by that is that, like, when I go into a situation and I say, hey, if I'm coming to you and I'm offering a service to you, my price is my price. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure that, hey, I'm able to give you this level of service for this. But if I know that I'm working on furthering a relationship with you, then there may be a different unspoken.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
That goes on with
yeah,
that. And
definitely. That's communicated,
Yeah,
right? You know, lots of different situations for lots of different things.
Yeah.
So just like, my situation, they offer a service, I offer a service. There's no need to combine them and say, hey, I'm gonna take this and you take this. No, you do your thing and you do your thing, and we gonna do it here at this one place.
Yeah.
And
And because of that relationship, because it's fruitful for both of us, it's lucrative for both of us.
Yeah, you've
Right.
strengthened that bond where hey,
Exactly,
let's do something again sometime soon. This worked out. And,
Yeah.
like swinging it back, they offer media services. So for me, I get media promotion. Plus, now I'm doing this event, and now they get to bring good food to it. So now they get to get people who may not be interested in the event, but they're interested in food, and then they come for the event, and then they get to interested in their services. Then it's vice versa. You have people that they might not be interested in the food because they have no idea who I am. They have no idea what the name of my business is, but they know who the people of this business are, and they're coming to do business with them, or they're coming to support them, and then they just happen to catch Chef J High here, and it's like, okay, now we really like this guy, we really like you guys. When are you guys going to do more of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost gives you the stamp of approval.
Exactly.
If you're working, if I'm working with this company, I know what their reputation is. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go back and do it again.
Yeah, so true. And so that brings us to the part of, why one of the other reasons that we're sitting here today is we're planning an event where we call it H-Town Flavors. And so we're going to have an event and create a space where the community, people can come out and we can showcase our foods. It'll be a space where different type of food providers, food creators can come out and just showcase yourself. The goal is, like I say, to bring all our skills and techniques together and create an event to where, hey, we got one event coming together and we don't have to do the marketing 4 different ways to get the people in the room. You have a network of people, he has a network of people, she has a network of people, and I have a network of people. So the hope is that, hey, we can take that and not have to go find 500 people one by one,
right?
But hey, we can mix that up and make that grow. So we're gonna keep an eye out for that. That'll be in the streets real soon. That when we finalize a date for us to collab. If you guys are interested, for sure, I want you guys to be a part of it. It won't just be us. I mean, the audience can't see this big room, but the goal is to pack this room out with vendors all around here and get guests in here. So you can spread the word about that as well for the people that's in your space of the creative culinary side that we are looking for people to join it. And we'll have a showcase of food and hey, hopefully we can take this thing to the next level. Maybe we can create something like this where we traveling and creating events like this around in different cities and states.
Definitely.
Yep.
So I appreciate you guys, and hey, thanks again. And keep tuned for the event. On the lookout. Be on the lookout.